how to export a project from Adobe Illustrator. That way you can submit it properly and I can see it upload, and I can grade it a little bit more efficiently through our LMS, which is Canvas. Okay, so this is how you need to export your content in order to submit. If you do not submit properly, I will not be able to see it, and therefore I will not be able to grade it properly as well. So make sure this is your final step when you are finished at the end of the day, or before you need to submit. So before exporting, I always make sure that it's saved as a workable document. A workable document will show the extension at the end of .ai in Illustrator. So with that, I just hit Control S and that will save. And you can see here .ai is the extension. As a note, never try to change the extension yourself. Just leave that alone. As if you change that, it may corrupt the file and it won't be recognizable at all. This will look a little bit different as I am on my Mac, but nonetheless what you're making sure is that it's a .ai. And to make sure that is correct, you can also see here under format it will show .ai. Again, this is a little bit different than PC. On PC, the save as and format are closer together, and you can rename and ultimately change the format just the same. It's just the window looks a little bit different. You can see that there are different options here as far as format goes. And again, this is just the initial step to make sure it's still a working document in case I want to go back and work on it at a later point. So I'm going to go here and then just hit save. I'm saving it to my desktop currently. You will get an Illustrator options window. We don't need to worry about any of these presets as of right now. You can just hit OK, and then that will save it initially. Now to export, it looks a little bit different. You want to go up to File, Export, Export As. And with that, what it's going to do, it may default to PNG. I can't remember what it defaults to initially, but what we're looking for is two things, PNG and JPEG. I would like for you to export as both, so we'll just start as PNG, and then in this case we want to use Artboards as well. So what this will do is it will limit the export to the content that is only on the artboard itself. So we look at this project here, the setup and tools will not show up, as well as your guides. Any guides that you do create will only be an on-screen function. It will never save onto your assignment as long as you do it properly. And what I mean by that is not taking a screenshot. With that, note, I will not accept screenshots unless it's a absolutely last resort. So make sure you're exporting properly to get the correct quality of your assignment. Okay. Again, format, you want to make sure that changes to PNG, and then make sure it changes that extension for you. It should automatically, and then you want to select use Artboards to make sure that the only thing that is saved is what is on the artboard. Okay, from here, what you can do is you can see that there's a preview, your resolution. I always bump the resolution up as much as I can. And then for PNGs, I want to keep this transparent. So what that does is anything that I did not create will be transparent. Okay, in this you will have to double check to make sure that your colors are correct. We are using black and white, so we want to make sure that that is, again, the way you want to use it or see it. So we'll hit OK. And what I'll do real quick is just make sure that it's set up properly. And this is what I've created, right? It's just a test here. So what it's showing is a fill of white and an outline or a stroke of black. And this is a PNG. Wherever you see gray here, that is transparent. So that is good. That is a PNG. And then from there, I would also save it as a JPEG. There are differences. JPEGs tend to be a nicer resolution quality, but they're a little bit heavier, whereas PNG, it works a little bit better on screen. So when you go to utilize your portfolio, you may see the difference there in size and quality. So we'll also go to export here, file export as, and then change this format to JPEG. I'll hit use artboards as well, that way I don't get anything on the left or anything outside of the artboard. I'll hit export, and your options will look a little bit different here. As long as your quality is rated as high or above, you are good. So 6 or above will be good here. I'll just bump it up to the max. Resolution, I always keep the resolution at 300, and then I'll hit OK. And then I will check that to make sure it is right. And you can see here the big difference is that it automatically applies a white background to the back. Okay, that is how you export in Adobe Illustrator to submit onto Canvas.